Okay, I'm watching Alex Carr debating a religious person, and they're debating about stuff. And I guess the idea came from I think because they're talking about women and women rights and how all that shit. And for some reason, what popped in my head was when there was this story about this guy abusing his wife or just some random woman. I think it was his wife, but she killed him. Because of all the abuse he did to her, he killed him, and all the ladies were like, "Girl power!" and "Hooray!" and "Whoopie doo!" We took one out. And I guess the negative thing about me is I always think let justice do his thing, even if it's heinous. Let justice be with sentences person that are not by our hands. So I'm like, they could do the heinous shit. I just feel like at the end of the day, let justice take care of it. And that could be imprisonment for years. I don't like I don't really, the reason why I don't really agree with the death sentence is because you could get it wrong, and you could get it wrong. You could I forgot what, there was a kid, cops got to him, either telling him to that this person did it, or making the kid admit to a crime he didn't do, and the kid actually believed that even though it didn't happen. So there's even in our memories, it's not as reliable as we think it is. It could be changed and manipulated by ourselves and by the environment around us and everybody and blah blah blah. That's why I don't believe in the death penalty. I believe you sentence this person, however long you sentence this person for the crimes they done, and boom. Let it play out as such. Okay, so as a preference, and not a preference. I swear I got the idea from this idea I came up with. I don't, well, obviously I don't know if it's like some brand new idea. It's probably some philosopher actually thought of it, and I'm not up to that guy's past and knowing what he talks about and shit like that. But it came with the idea with the woman killing some guy who abused her for years and years and years, and the women are like, woohoo, he got what he got, he got what he deserved. So the idea I came up with is car accident. Okay. Car accident. Murder by car accident, right? So somebody gets in a car accident. One car accident, two people are in the wrong. So they're driving and they both did illegal touch or whatever the case may be, but they're both in the wrong. One person dies. The other's alive, but the other person dies. I ask you, because so A always lives, B always dies. You're on B, either that's a family or friend you truly love. A killed B, but both are in the wrong. Both did something wrong in their driving that causes accident. Are you killing A for that? If they told you both were in the wrong, unfortunately B got killed, are you killing A? Chances you'll say no. And if you do, is everybody right behind you like, woo, yeah, go girl, you killed him. You killed somebody. That killed somebody. You killed somebody. That killed somebody. That both were in the wrong. But we're gonna root for you because fuck him, for whatever reason. Are you killing him? Chances are no. If you are, then you might need to be watched. Okay, so A's always gonna be surviving, B's always gonna be dead. You're on the B side. Are you killing A because both are in the wrong and so happened A survived, B died? Are you killing them? Probably not. If you are, then I don't know you. Okay, murder by breaking a law accident. This time, it's one person is in the right, the other person, A is in the right, B breaks the law, B dies. Vice versa, A is in the wrong, B is in the right, B dies. So either or, either or, but also the or is gonna probably be the one that is more effective. So the or would be B was in the right, A is in the wrong, but because B always dies, even though in this case B was in the right, you're more infuriated by the idea because A was in the wrong. But if, as I said, and vice versa, A was right but B was in the wrong, B always dies. Are you going to kill A because A was in the right but B was in the wrong but B died? Are you going to kill A for killing B for doing something wrong? Yes or no? Chances are no. If it is yes, then obviously something might be something. We might just like this might need to be checked up on, and you might need to be watched carefully. So chances are no, you're not gonna do that. Okay, but if A was in the wrong and B was in the right, are you gonna kill A because B always dies? No, chances are probably no. The only reason why you do A because this, you're on that brink of crazy. Okay. Murder by drunk driving. So obviously that's the obvious one. A's drunk driving kills B. Are you gonna kill A for always killing B? Or are you gonna leave it, right? Chances are you're gonna say no, you're not gonna kill A. You're gonna be super pissed at A. You may want him to die, death penalty wise or whatever case may be, but you're not gonna kill him. Maybe there's a chance you might kill him because for some reason, as you're gonna see, some reason there's degrees to what deems killable. Yeah, I might kill you because you're the one who was drunk driving and you recall. So it's like this degree. If what we call it, and then you could do the vice versa. A fine, B drunk driving, always B dies. A survives, but because two things must happen, which is a car hitting B or B hitting A, you're not going to you're not going to kill A because ultimately B was in inebriated state. I think it is. B was drunk and obviously killed A, but A survived. But because A and B collided, B died. but obviously B was a reckless driver, and whatever the case may be, to cause this accident. But if you put it vice versa, A did it and B always dies, are you gonna kill A? Vice versa, are you gonna kill A because A so happens was the victim of B's recklessness and drunkenness and all that stuff? You're not gonna kill A because of that, because obviously you're like, well, my friend or family got drunk and dumbass died. But if it was the other way around, you want more. You would want more. You would probably want blood. Okay? Murder by intent. So this is obvious. This is like an obvious thing. Somebody drives, boom. The A obviously wants to kill B, and boom, B dies. This is the point blank A kills B. No recall. Obviously, you want to murder this person because you know the intent is to kill. Right? Right? So this is the degrees, right? This is you're looking at the degrees and which are you willing, what at one point are you willing to kill somebody and say woohoo because in the case with the woman killing the guy who's being abusive, you're like woohoo, he got what he deserved, he needed to die, and she did that, and she chose self-justice instead of the justice system, so she murdered him. And in this case, you're looking at the justice and self-justice, and the power, and what is being between that is murder, and death, and in degrees of murder, I guess, and you're gonna look at that how far. Vice versa, the ones like somebody is in the wrong by law. Are you going to kill one of them? Obviously, somebody made a mistake or did something unlawfully because of whatever reason. Are you gonna kill them for that? And are you killing for that? And if so, are you gonna kill that? Are you gonna kill A for that? And if so, are we all rallying behind you, saying "Woohoo! They deserved it." Blah blah. Second one would be murder by. What was it? Murder by what was it? Murder by car accident, where both are wrong. Obviously, B always dies. A lives. Are you gonna kill A for that, even though both are wrong? Chances are no. But if you are that psychopath who decides to go for it and kills A for it, are we all rallying behind you and say, "Woohoo! You did it, girl! Go get it! Kill his ass!" Because both of their dumbasses did something stupid and now they're both dead. Woohoo! Get it, girl. Chances are no. But then again, if you are that person, we go. Murder by drunk driving. Obviously, this goes both ways. But B always dies in the situation, and then it goes to tell you, so. And this also goes to morality too, because it's like, I'm taking subject A out. Everything. The only thing you got is B, and you're only looking at yourself, right? A, as I said, it goes vice versa. A could be the drunken. B always dies. Remember, B always dies. A, drunken, hits B. B dies. are you gonna kill that person? Chances are no. But if you are that person, are we all rallying behind you and saying, go get it, girl? You did it. Let's go. Fuck his ass. He need to live. He need to live. And then now you're gonna go the other way around. A sober, B's not. B gets killed no matter what, but A survived. But as I said, there's actions that happened. So in the case for this thing to work out, and obviously there's accidents where drunk drivers hit some other cars and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. A survives, B dies, but B was a drunk driver. And are we gonna kill A for just being in the line of sight of the drunk driver B? And are you that? And are you gonna kill that person if are you that person who's gonna kill A for no apparent reason other than B being there and B being a drunk driver and just hitting it and dying on impact? Are we gonna rob behind you and say, "Ooh, go get it, girl, kill his ass. We go Devo, you got his queen." Are we gonna do that? So and then the thing is like, okay, so then you look at yourself and you look at that case, and it's like, okay, so you want the worst of the worst or whatever, and then when it's vice versa, you're more than willing to have a heart. And probably you're the one who's like, fuck that, stupid, he deserved it because he died, he was drunk driving, he could have killed somebody, fuck that. Or are you the person who's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that happened, unfortunately my person died, but it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But if it was the other way around, you wanted blood. Okay. And then there's the intent of killing, and obviously it's like there's no ifs or buts about it. A is intentionally trying to kill B, and it succeeded. We call boom boom, bang bang. Do we want the justice system, like, obviously let the justice system plays out. We already know who's gonna lose. A is gonna lose and whatever, but are we gonna go behind your back and say, because you want to kill him? Are we gonna go behind your back? Ooh, go get it, girl. You got this. Fuck him up. Yes, queen. And most of the time, people think that might be well, in the eyes of lots of people, they're like valid. Because in that case with the woman murdering the guy for being abusive, like, yeah, you did all that shit for years. Yeah, you deserve to die and stuff like that, right? And in that case, well, obviously the intent is to kill the person. So yeah, obviously, blood for blood, right? Now, all those 4 things I mentioned, now we're going to talk about a path in which that happens, and all those paths are the same paths, but we're removing all those 4s and we're shaking it all up, and we're telling you, pick which one out of 4 that you're willing to kill, because at the one where there was intent to kill, most likely we're all behind you. Say, go get it, girl, kill him, social justice, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not that person, but some people be like all behind it. And you run the risk of killing someone who might be innocent in 2 cases. I think in 3 cases. No, 3 cases. 2 cases, but 3 is gray. 2 cases are innocent, but also not innocent. The 3rd case is gray, and the 4th case is just obvious intent. So the path will be basically crossing 4-way street. One's going, left, right. The one's goes up and down, and they catch each other at the intersection. Boom, knocked out. So that's what you're saying in all 4 cases. And one of them is intent to murder. Are you, and just say out of that tent, the one that in the tent, are you gonna still be agreeable to whatever happens in the case of any of them? So the 4th one with the intent to murder, by all means, there's a chance you might think blood for blood. In my case, I always think it's justice. You should let the justice system work out. Obviously, I've never been in a situation where either of those 4 things have happened, and thankfully, I've not, or have any of that happen. We call, but I still believe in let the justice system work its magic and let the punishment be dealt in time in prison and whatever, right? Some people think certain actions should not be dealt in time but in blood. And if you're that person who thinks should be dealt in blood instead of the justice system, so you're the person who thinks self-justice should be the justice that should be taken, which would be either you killing them by hand or you having the justice system doing it for you. Or you the person like me who believes justice system should be time based and how many time the time you put in and shit like that. And not necessarily letting the justice system take its not justice system self-justice, whereas in blood for blood take its course and killing another person for the death of another person, or letting the justice system doing it for you, or you could be that person. Chances are some people are that person, and maybe one day I hope I don't think I don't hope no never. Well, just say that whatever. Are you okay if you're okay with blood for blood, self-justice, or self-justice let the justice do the blood for blood? Are you okay picking out those 4 that is scrambled up now from 1, 2, 3, 4? Now you don't have no numbers on which one is which one it was intent, which one was by accident, which one was by drunk recklessness, and which one was done by both we call and it's all scrambled up now, and you have to pick one out of those 4 that you believe that self-justice is correct. And if you pick, just say that's your idea, right? At least if you think one, no, you shouldn't, because one it's a gray area, and shit happens, and we call that's it's a gray area. 2, you're like, no, because even though somebody did something wrong, it's not something it's not something for me to go and try to kill somebody for, or ask the justice system to do the same, even though vice versa, somebody they did the wrong one. I especially this is the 3rd one where it's like drunk driving, where vice versa, where what I'm saying, there's a gray area where you're like, well, yeah, because it was them, I feel away, but it wasn't them, you know what, that's that's unfortunate that you got in a car accident, but you didn't die, but we call. And the 4th one is like, yeah, this fucker, they need to be called. So whatever, so there's a degree. So if you pick That just say if you grabbed it from the a hat of a paper and you grabbed one of them, but ultimately you think, how would I would. Because it's obviously the justice system is degrees, right? The first degree, second degree, third degree. Huh. First degree, there, of weed club, right? And you're in at the end of the day, are you trusting the justice system? And that's why they say justice is blind, right? And that's one of the things I'm trying to get through to is with that blind test in your intentions, no, in your beliefs. It does it in the sense that justice is blind. They're more than willing to take out all the emotions and stuff like that, whereas you, the individual, is not, and are willing to do the extreme depending on the extreme, because the extreme is death, but depending on the level extreme of that death, which could be two wrongs, car accident, unfortunately B always dies, or vice versa, where it's like where the justice system works in the sense that it doesn't keep that because you're on B dies no matter what, but either B dies because B did the wrong, or B died because B did the right and A did the wrong. And no matter what, you want justice in probably the most extreme way, maybe in the sense that just say, okay, so A and B, right? A gets fuck, dude. Good thing I don't have this video going as video because I'm doing some shit that like. Anyways, A would be if it was A that was wrong killing B, because B always says if A hit killing wrong, A doing wrong and killing B, you would want the maximum. If it was the other way around, B doing wrong but B always dies and A was right, well, do you think that would be in a sense the best doc? Well, you wouldn't think that's it. It wouldn't matter because in the end of the day, you realize B brought it upon himself, the ultimate cause his death, and so you wouldn't. I guess in that sense, it wouldn't matter about if it was the other way around, because the other way around would still be alive. The only difference is B always dies. Right. And then drunk driving thing, obviously B always dies, but B's the one that B always dies. What? It goes to the same thing. It's you're okay with the idea if it's your person and not their person. You're just ignorant. There's not this full of there obviously there's people who are able to have empathy for the other side of the accident, but at the same time you're more closer to the death of the person, in this case B. So drunken driving, A kills B, no matter what, you're gonna want A to serve the maximum. And as I mentioned, when B hits A, it kind of it's a moot point because B got and ultimately A, it was unfortunate in that, but survived in in the way of the recklessness of the drunken driver and stuff like that. But you're like, you know, the person might sustain injury or whatever the case may be, but it's a viewpoint at that point because your person died. And would it be weird? I really don't know how this works out, but would it be weird? No, it kind of does, huh? Because I know if B dies, but B's in the wrong, obviously, because they're drunk and driving, and A gets hurt severely or minorly or whatever the case may be, but they expect to get paid for the damages and stuff like that. And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like the life of this person being taken should be enough as payment, or even though the person brought it upon himself, or do you is that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why do we have to pay for that we call of the damages and stuff like that of somebody's already dead and stuff like that? And do you feel a way about that? And then obviously the intent to kill and stuff like that is what it is. Ooh, I think that could go vice versa too. No. Yeah, A's intent to kill B, but B trying to kill A. No. Either way, if you take that out and you picked it, are you okay with if you're the person who thinks blood for blood or believes the maximum or whatever the case may be? Do you believe once you grab one out of the cap, are you okay with blood for blood? Or are you okay with the justice system doing the justice system? So in the case with the woman beating the shit out of, killing the husband, what if we put, well, honestly, in this case, what if we did that instead, where it's like, but in the sense of lying, but you put it in a bag and you're like, okay, she said that she was beating him and stuff like that. In one case it is, the other case she's lying, and it has enough to prove, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about. It kind of seems like this is a more obvious thing that probably someone already thought up of. But that is, are you willing to? Are you the blood for blood for? Are you blood for blood if it looks the same? If it all looks the same, and you can't tell the difference, other than me getting those scenarios, and then hoping to God you pick the right one, and if you pick the wrong one, and then if it's blood for blood, are you willing to stand by that? Where somebody, you could be ultimately killing somebody in the are you being killing you? You could be killing somebody for being innocent, and the other person being reckless or breaking the law, or you could hit it right in the head, and then you got it right, blood for blood. Are you willing to let the justice system be blind and do its work, or do you believe self-justice should be what dictates the sentence of somebody's life, and that could be taking it? Yeah, probably need to write that up better, but I think that's a cool theory or a cool thing. Yeah, I think we'll leave it like that.